Hey guys, this week I chose to do Case Project 2-6 for Chapter 2, latest music scene app. It was one of the more difficult ones, so I just, did the one. And in this one, we're asking to basically just make an opening screen with two options for users to choose from. And in this case, it's going to be music news stories that I guess we just made up. And then button controls, we're playing with those. Uh, and so, yeah, well, let's get right. Okay, so I'm just going to go through the design real quick. This is how I have my main activity set up. I have two other XMLs plus my strings XML that I added some stuff in, and I should have had that open already, but I'll get to it in a minute. These are just the two news articles, so just things I made up or whatever. Here's my button controls. Here's the PNGs, so the image files that we were asked to upload. I forgot to read that off in the instructions. So let's take a look at the design for the other two. They're both the same. They both just have my title bar up top, the actual article itself, and the it didn't call for it, but I went ahead and added a home button just so it's easier for me to test on the emulator. It got really annoying, and it was good practice because I did have a lot of difficulties with the figuring out the button language and everything. So let's look at the actual code for this. So again, this is the main activity. Most of this is going to be your, just the generated stuff whenever you play with the design function of it. You can go in here. I find it's easier a lot of times to go in here and just manually input this and hard code it. But if you're putting it in the design, you have to do the at string, then you have to worry about the spaces and whatnot. You can also go through the strings page, which is what we did in the chapter, and I did that later on and key these things in and just reference them here. And I'll show some examples of that here in just a minute. Uh, Here's, the saxophone image right there, and there's the vinyl image. Here's the button for the vinyl, and both the vinyl button and the saxophone page button they have the same code with just different names. So I'm not gonna take a whole lot of time going into that, into each of those. Just glance over one of them and go into detail on the other. Uh, let's see. This right here is important. This is what gets me to page 2, to whatever page I need to get to. So this one, I created a method open vinyl article. And I did the same thing with the other one, except for Sax article. So let's go over to main activity. And this is what that was. It calls on this right here. I declare my intent, and my intent is to go from main activity to the vinyl article class, and then to start it. And here's the same code just for the sax. Uh, and to do the home button was slightly different, so let's go look at that. Uh, yeah, well, I guess it's exactly the same. I just got to change this around to where I'm going from vinyl article or sax article to main article, and then start that activity. Um, Let me go over here to these. So for the actual string of the article, um, let's see if I can find it. Oh, it's from. All right, here we go. So here's where I'm calling on vinyl string instead of typing out that entire paragraph out here. So if I go over here to strings, you'll see a lot of the keyed stuff I put in there. So again, this is just that whole paragraph of stuff. I'm not going to go into detail. It was just something I quickly made up for the assignment. I mean, that's pretty much all there is to it. I just had difficulty trying to figure out how to set the buttons up, and that's what took me so long. So let's go ahead and run this. And I have it set to API 24 Nougat 7, I think it is, and I'm running it on the Pixel 6 API 33. So let's get rid of that. All right. So here's my first article. Let's go here. There we go. Go home. And now let's go to the saxophone article. And there we go. And let's go home. And that's all there is to it this week. Thank you.